Welcome to the Family Brand Show. We're Chris and Melissa Smith of FamilyBrand.com, husband and wife, parents of 5, and we want to help you take back your family and to live life on your terms.
And we know being a family can feel really overwhelming. Parents tell us they feel like they're being pulled in a million different directions. It's so challenging to navigate the uncertainty and all the chaos that's happening in the world right now.
And that's why we want to bring you every single week actionable tips and strategies that you can implement in your daily life to become a better parent, to become a better spouse, and to build a stronger family. And look, there's never been a better time and a more important time than right now to take back your family. You can define what your family stands for, or the world is going to do it for you. And the world needs strong families now more than ever. And it starts right here with your family.
There's something that's been on our mind a lot lately. We're trying to make decisions on, and I thought maybe you are too, is summer. Like, what are we going to do this summer? What are our summer plans, summer vacations? So let's talk about it. I have Chris here with me today. I feel like it's been forever since we recorded a podcast episode together, but here we are today.
She won't let me on the podcast anymore. She said she has she's stepped into a new realm of like high level guests, and so I'm gonna have to work my way back into the rotation.
Made the cut.
Yeah. So one of the things that was interesting, this has been several years ago. We were planning summer vacation with our kids, and we were living in Gilbert, and we thought it'd be a fun exercise just to ask our kids what have been the most fun, meaningful, memorable family vacations we've ever taken. One, it would just be cool to know that. And then 2, that'll help us plan for this upcoming summer. And it blew us away. We had a little whiteboard. I still remember we're sitting at the kitchen table and they just start writing down all the different trips we've gone on. Then they start voting on them. Then we start kind of ranking them. And the first real epiphany that I think Melissa and I had that was really surprising is none of the most expensive or extravagant family trips, like taking them to Florida, Disney World, for example, none of those were even in the top 5 or top 10. Like they were on there. So that was insightful. Like, oh, why are we doing these really big, extravagant, expensive vacations? But there was also some other clues that the ones that were like top 3 to 5 for them, they were always the simplest. They were the ones where we spent the most time together. They were the ones that like didn't have a lot of agenda. They had a sense of kind of just spontaneity and fun and adventure. And so we try to remember that and just wanted to share some of that with you that could be insightful. And it certainly was for us. And so we try to remember that like this summer, we're thinking, okay, what do we want to create this summer? What do we want to go do? And just trying to remember some of these lessons that we've learned and from some of the things our kids have told us about their favorite, most memorable, most meaningful family trips.
So this definitely was worth doing, asking our kids this. So let's break it down just a little bit, like how we did it, which it's kind of self-explanatory, but everyone was sitting down and we asked, hey, tell us like what are some of your favorite trips that we've ever been on? And we did have a big whiteboard there, which I think made it more fun because everyone was just like throwing out their favorites. And you're right, some didn't even like get mentioned that we thought would be at the top, but we just listed all of them out. And then once we had a handful of them listed out, then I think we made everyone like close their eyes and vote so that they wouldn't be swayed by other members of the family. But for example, I think we did, maybe you get 3 votes, like your top 3 favorite, and then you had to close your eyes. And then Chris, I would say the name of it. And then if it was one of your top 3 favorites, you'd raise your hand. And then, we just keep tally marks and see which one was overall the winner of the favorites collectively for the family. And one thing that I think that was really interesting is that we had taken a big road trip a couple of years prior. That was, I think, the favorite for the whole family. We'd taken this road trip like up the coast of California, and it wasn't extravagant. Like we didn't even know where we were staying most of the nights.
We rented an RV.
Yeah. But we didn't even know like what town we were going to be in that night. We just kind of hit the road and knew.
Kind of wandered around.
Yeah. And we knew we wanted to end up in San Francisco because Chris had a speaking gig in San Francisco. And so we ended up in San Francisco and just took our time getting there.
Yeah. And I think that in and of itself is something really important to point out. We, as a family, I don't think we had like a style or an approach to family vacations or trips. We just taken a bunch of them. But I think that's important in this because I know some families, they can go to Disneyland or Disney World once a month and it's amazing for them and they love it. I know other families that are like, if I never go to Disneyland again, it will be too soon. Like I went once, check. So it's like, I think the way that we vacation as a family that really works for us would not work at all for other families and vice versa. So one of the things that we saw was by listing out our favorite family vacations, we just start seeing all these clues in it. And one of the things we've noticed as a family, our family does not like a lot of structure at all. No one really, which kind of works for us. The trips we've done where it's very structured, we're trying to get a lot of things done in a day, or we're going to this theme park and like we're structured by the theme park. And we've had some fun at theme parks, but like for sure, again, our favorite vacation was we rented an RV in Phoenix. We knew we had to be in San Francisco by Wednesday for the sales training that I was doing as for a company that hired me. We left on Saturday or Sunday, and that was it. That was our only direction. That was our only itinerary. And some people I know, and I've told them about this trip, they're like, that sounds so stressful. And it sounds like so much anxiety. And like, I would hate traveling that way. So I think there's an opportunity to figure out the kind of vacations that work for you. Some families love getting up early in the morning, maximizing their day, getting in as many attractions and getting back late that night. Other families are like, no, I'm going to sleep in. So we found that with no structure, very little structure, and being able to just wander around really works for us. And that's what we did on the RV trip. We were like, it was so fun. Again, doesn't sound fun for some people, but for us, I'd be driving and I'd be like, hey, Liz, look up on Google Maps the next town and see if there's like a cool restaurant or a cool attraction or somewhere we should stop. And for example, this is the first time we'd ever been to Joshua Tree. We didn't even really, we're like, we've heard of Joshua Tree. It's kind of off the beaten path. And Melissa's like, I think we should pull in there. We're like, let's pull in there. We pull in the Joshua Tree. And if you've never been there, it looks like when you get inside of the park, it's a national park, right?
Mhm.
It looks like you're on another planet. These like these massive, crazy rock formations. We get in there, park the RV where it's at dusk. And when our kids just get out of the RV and just run and go explore these rocks. And it was just like, we're like, oh my gosh, we love it.
Mhm.
And so we randomly like, let's stay the night here so that we can wake up here in the morning and like explore some more. And yeah, we just kind of like went where the wind blew us. Like we didn't follow necessarily the most efficient route there on Google Maps. We just kind of made our way north. So it was illuminating the exercise of the favorite family vacations, not just to see which ones they put up or didn't make the list. It also kind of helped us see like, oh, this is the way we like to do vacation. Like this is our style. This is our approach.
Yeah. I like what you're saying about how what we have found that we love works for us won't work for every family, but really understanding and not trying to like make your family fit a certain mold. Like I think it's easy to do, be like, well, we should do this because we've never done this before. So I mean, maybe you don't ever need to go to Disneyland again or do the other thing that your neighbor's doing.
I also think it's really important that when you think about a trip in particular is kind of like looking at the end of the trip saying, okay, what would we want to be saying at the end of this trip? Or what would we want to come back having saying or experiencing that would have it be like, that trip was really awesome. And Melissa's really good about this. No matter what trip we go on, she'll go to each of our kids individually and say, okay, what's important to you about this trip? Like, what do you want to experience? What do you want to have happen? And lets all of them still feel like they have a hand in shaping it. And they still have like a little bit of an individualized experience with the trip. And then I think we've shared this before. Melissa does a really good job of, she always comes up with a kind of a theme for the trip and we all kind of vote on it. And so we've had themes like, okay, the theme of this trip is adventure, which we're just going to be adventurous. We're going to say yes to things we normally wouldn't say yes to. Or the theme of this trip is connection or relaxation or new experiences. Like it just kind of helps you get more out of the trip, I think, and just make it more of a memorable experience.
We have a really interesting summer in a way because our oldest, she'll be 18 in July. And I'm not going to think about it too deeply right now here, or I'll probably start crying. But it's been interesting to think about our summer trip this year because it's like, well, he's gonna go do summer sales in Kansas and he won't be with us a lot of the summer. And so we're trying to plan, we want to plan so that he can be there on whatever vacation we do take this summer, but also he doesn't want to leave. Like he wants to come on the trip with us, but he doesn't if he's gone, then he's not like selling and he's not making the money that he wants to make and possibly not hitting goals that he wants to hit for himself this year. So that's just like such a new phase of life where we get to figure that out now too. Like, what does it look like?
Yeah, I think that's a good point because I think you can also look at your family trips as a way to help facilitate maybe what your family could use the most at that moment, or what your family needs, or what's important to your family. And we've done that before. Okay, what do you think would make a difference for our family? So, and look, certainly there's been times we just choose a random place and we go. I think Melissa's been really good though at helping us just have a little bit more intention of like, why are we taking this trip? Why did we choose this? What's our theme for the trip? What's our intention? And I would say though that one thing I would encourage everyone to do is just, regardless of what your style is, whether it's very structured or not, but just like have a bit more like adventure, I would say, in your trips. And one of our themes on one of our trips was wander with wonder. And it was this one was just me and Tate and Tanner, our two old sons. We went to Japan together and we just decided like for 10 days, we're going to be in Japan and we're just going to wander with wonder. No agenda, no. And it just we just wandered around Japan and had these like really fun experiences. So again, it's so individualized for every family, but I do think you should start, like Melissa said, start with asking your family, what are our favorite family trips? But let every person speak like really individually and let everyone kind of speak into that and then see what clues you gain from that. And then plan something this summer. I also think sometimes part of my temptation is because I'm such a maximizer, like I want to do things so intentionally and so well that I've found myself at times like, well, if we can't go on like a longer trip, then we just shouldn't go on one. And it's like, no, you can do some pretty awesome like 2 or 3 day trips. And maybe that's all you do this summer is 1, 2 or 3 day trip where you do a few of those. It doesn't have to be like, and we've even had some summers where that's actually been super fun too. We didn't do one really big trip. We did just a handful of like smaller weekend trips throughout the summer, which was really fun.
We need to ask the kids again. It's been a few years since we asked them this question. So we're going to ask again. We'll report back what they say their new favorites are. Because I will say, prior to jumping on to record today, I asked Tate, our oldest, this question. He's the only one home right now. I said, what's your favorite trip you've ever taken? And it was kind of an extravagant, bigger one. He said, the first time we'd ever been to Europe was 2 summers ago. And he said that was the favorite trip we'd ever taken. But it wasn't because he just took a minute to tell me about it. It wasn't because we did anything crazy. I mean, Europe in and of itself is pretty awesome, but it was like the little memories that he had attached to it. Like he said, I created my manifesto on that trip and I met a lot of like really cool people. Anyway, I thought that was interesting.
That's awesome. Okay. So takeaway. They're going to sit down as a family.
Yeah. Sit down as a family. Ask and you get to have a vote too. It doesn't have to be all just what the kids want. Favorite trips your family's ever taken, take a vote and see, like, are there any insights to glean from this? And maybe we reevaluate our plans for the summer and lean a little bit more into what we know works for our family and what we love.
Happy travels, happy adventuring, and family trip this summer.
Thanks for hanging out with us today on the Family Brand Podcast. But wait, before you go, I want to give you something. It's something I stole out of our Family Brand Academy because I thought it would make a big difference for you, and I want you to have it for free, no strings attached. It's how we run our family meetings, and not just our family meetings that we have every week, but also our family check-ins, which is this system we've developed for how to connect with our kids and each other, Chris and I, every single week. And we've had some great outcomes with this. Not only have we, but a lot of families that have implemented this have as well. Actually, life-changing outcomes, if I'm being honest. You'll definitely want to get this. Go get your copy at familybrand.com/meeting, and we will catch you next time.